Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning. Hope you guys had a nice weekend.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about.
Sometimes the best bets you make are the ones you don't make. On Friday, I offered you your Lakers plus 10 points at Nets, and you had no faith. Ye of little faith.
And they want it.
You said, I got no hope. I got no shot. You backed down and gave up. I was going to hand you 5 cases of Diet Mountain Dew right across the table, and you said no.
I want it all back at one time when the Nets play the Lakers in the finals. I want all the Dew I owe you.
Well, we're not going to have that bet because it's going to be Clippers Nets in the final.
Whole different discussion before we go there. Okay, so Shannon didn't win any bets, but he did get that win for the Lakers. Let's talk about it. With no LeBron or AD, the short-handed Lakers blew out the Nets 126-101 on Saturday night. Just over 2 minutes into the third quarter, Dennis Schroder and Kyrie Irving got into a verbal argument that resulted in both players being ejected, a career first for both. And yesterday morning, apparently in reference to their exchange, Kyrie tweeted, quote, "The N-word is a derogatory racial slur. It will never be a term of endearment, reclaimed, flipped, never forget. It's foul and true history. Throw that N-word out the window right alongside all those other racist words used to describe my people. We are not slaves or ends." So, Shannon, are you surprised by the stance Kyrie took here?
Maybe he's having an enlightenment. Maybe, Skip, he's having an awakening. But there are times that Kyrie has actually used the word. So Kyrie would have more legs to stand on if he had never, ever uttered that word.
He has.
He has uttered that word. Absolutely, okay. He's uttered that word. Now,
has he done so publicly, or
no? It's basically like in a game, in competition. You know, that's what he gets uttered.
Okay.
Skip, to give you a little backdrop, in the history of time, there've always been groups of people that use words that, if used outside of that group of people or community, would be derogatory, would be a slur. The blacks, we use the N-word. Gay and lesbian, they use words to describe each other, talk to one another, that was someone outside of that community were to say that. Women do it a lot. Outside of that community, okay, you can't say that. Okay, I get it. I'm not here to police how people should talk to one another in their groups. Kyrie, if you look at it, Skip, Schroder only said that after Kyrie started to press him. Called a foul. Schroder was like, he been doing this all night. Schroder walks away. Kyrie walks up on him and was talking to him. Schroder says, "Damn, and that's when Kyrie loses it. He's like, bruh, it's not that serious. Kyrie walks away. Schroder like, bro, seems like he said, my bad. If I offended you, I'm sorry. And he kept it going. It's bigger than that. Skip, we've seen situations where people they got into a fight over a piece of chicken, or they got into a fight over an Xbox. That might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, but there's something that led up to that.
Agreed.
And so, was it Schroder was giving Kyrie that work in the game?
Yep.
Maybe. But Kyrie, over the last year and a half, since the George Floyd, has become a different person. And I have no problem with that. But I think the thing is that I thought he tried to press Schroder and took it further than what it really needed to go. You don't want to be called that. I get it. I play professional sports. Use that word talking to some of my teammates and some of the other guys on the other team. So if they say, hey, bro, okay, fine, no problem. Ain't got no problem with that. But for someone to look, if you say you don't want me to use the word, okay, we done with it. But don't come try to press me, because that's not gonna go well. You said you didn't like it. Okay, I'm fine not using it towards you any longer. But something is going on with Kyrie that made him go overboard what was really necessary in that situation, Skip. And it kind of marred a game because, Skip, you already minus stars. No AD, no James Harden, no LeBron. And now basically you're down to Kevin Durant. Come on, officials. We got to stop with this double technical stuff. And I got Kyrie started to flip. He started, the officials trying to calm him down. He like, get your hands off me, Skip. I get that. But we got to be careful kicking these guys out, especially in a game like this. Because you're on national television, Skip. Ain't nobody... Unless you're a die-hard Lakers fan. Skip, you're not watching that game. Not minus AD. Not minus LeBron. You're not watching. And not no James Harden and Kyrie. And KD only on the minutes restriction. So I just thought Kyrie overreacted. He made his point. Don't call me that. I think it's derogatory. I think it's divisive. I don't want to be referred to in that term. Okay, boom. Schroder's looking at him like, bro, I'm sorry, bro. Is that serious? I mean, so I thought Kyrie overreacted in that situation. But he's gone through an enlightenment or an awakening where he sees the world different, and I have no problem with that. But I just think in this situation, Skip, I think he overreacted. Make your point and move on.
Okay. I have discussed this concept on TV for many years on this show and the other show that I used to do at ESPN. I'm going to start from the start. The N-word spoken with the hard ER on the end, used by white people against black people dating back hundreds of years in this country, is simply the most evil, vile word in this language. And I've said for years, I wish there was some way I could eradicate it. I wish I could make it illegal to utter that word in public or in private. Anytime it just should be out of this language. I get goosebumps even talking about it. But thanks to our friend, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, with whom I communicated last night, and he's been my guiding light on this from the start for maybe a dozen years. He pointed out to me that the black community over time has taken that vile, evil word and drained the poison out of it by putting an A on the end, as you well know, instead of that hard R. And that word has become, you could call it a term of endearment within your community.
Yes.
Maybe just a term of familiarity, as in we're all in this together. Right? That's how I feel it. And I've worked with several black commentators, most notably you. And I believe you've told me on the air here that, yeah, you use it occasionally.
Yeah. When I'm talking to my friends, absolutely. I mean, as soon as we pick up the call, what's up, Ian? They say, hey, what you doing?
Got it. Same from all the others I've worked with. Stephen A. Smith, Michael Wilbon, it's very commonly used. I don't know if you call it endearment or just familiarity. I don't know, but whichever it is, there's also a school out there, and you can call it an old school. And that school of thought is the Kyrie school of thought that he posted. And I was unaware that he was in that school of thought because I have to believe Kyrie's been called that or referred to as that by many, many black players down through the years that he's played in both pro, college, and all. I guess I should include AAU, right?
Yes.
How many times has he heard that on a basketball court? Thousands? Thousands.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So why now? Why pick this time to go public with this? Because that was a shock. I could have missed one, but it's the first current athlete that I'm aware of who went public with his disdain for the use of that word from black to black players.
Because I couldn't understand, Skip. I tweeted, why did Kyrie get so upset? I didn't know why he got upset. They called a foul on him. Schroder said, like, he's been fouling me, and he kept, so I didn't understand why. And then as it started to slowly trickle out, and yesterday you could read Schroder's lip, what he said, and Kyrie's like, don't call me that. And Schroder like, okay, even as Kyrie's walking away, Schroder's looking at it like, okay, that's serious?
So that old school group, that old school of thought, for me, dates back to my friend John Wooten. You know John?
Yes.
For years and years, he was the head of the Fritz Pollard Alliance, oversaw the Rooney Rule for the National Football League. He just recently retired from that position.
Yes.
But John is 84 years of age and dates back to the Jim Brown years in Cleveland, and he blocked for Jim Brown, was an all-pro guard for the old Cleveland Browns.
Correct.
And was a driving force behind the Ali Summit that we've referred to so many times, in which all the star power of the black players gathered in Cleveland.
67.
Remember? It was Kareem, it was Jim Brown, who am I forgetting? It was just a cavalcade of black stars.
Yes, it was. Yep.
To support Muhammad Ali in his draft stance.
Correct.
So I've spoken to John for years about this, and he is as old school as you can get. He said, I don't care what you did to that word. It's still that word.
Right.
That word was the reason that so many black people were hanged back in the day, as you know.